What's going on? You are listening to This Week in Geek.net's special coverage of what was formerly known as E3, otherwise known as Summer Games Fest, and whatever developer showcases that they decide to throw at us. My name is Mike the Birdman Ashkui, and normally you don't hear me on these things until typically the end of show. But today was a special day, mostly because I'm awake, but I'm not alone because I will not be leading today's discussion. We're going to throw things over to, I guess, the heirs to the video game throne here at TWIG. I'm going to throw to my brother, my compatriot from the lovely city of Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
Alex, the producer, who is very tired.
Yeah, you and Ken always go the extra mile for these things. And speaking of Ken, from the Garden State of New Jersey.
It's Ken from this anime.
So, yeah, guys, this is our extended coverage of Summer Games Fest. This is something that Alex and Ken have recently taken on in the last couple years as sort of their pet project for the year, since I've more moved into the tabletop RPG space and more casual stuff. Alex has really become hyper-focused, and honestly, I'm really proud of the way that you put together a lot of this coverage. You've got a really keen eye for journalism, and that fucking cell phone. Sorry. But yeah, so I guess, Alex, since this is your show, I'm going to pass the pilot seat over to you, buddy. Where are we going?
Sure, yeah. So as we've done the last few years, instead of, well, the first couple times I tried this, we tried covering every show as they came out, and that was like, oh God, it's not possible.
Please.
Yeah.
So we generally combine a couple of days worth of stuff and try to just find highlights. We're not going to be discussing every single thing shown at every single showcase. If you really want to dig deep, go ahead and watch them yourself. I just sort of pick out from each one, generally 3, 4, unless there's like a major amount of things. I'll pick out a few items that I think would be interesting to us personally, but also like the wider audience. If there's something quirky or weird, I'll mention it too. So for this, we're discussing very, very briefly the Latin American Games Showcase and the Women-Led Game Showcase. I sort of combined them because there wasn't as much as I thought there might be, and in past years there's been more. And the Accessibility Showcase, which is still the only one that is always airing at the same time as these showcases, but still isn't really a part of Summer Games Fest. It's not even listed on their website. But for us, it's something that we always want to keep an eye on for the accessibility stuff. So for the women-led games and Latin game showcases, I only had a few games that I thought were at least worth checking out. So if anybody wants to, write down or do a quick search, there's Gunny Ascend, Gunny Ascend. It's a puzzle game with lots of indie guests from different indie video game characters, like Shovel Knight's in it and a few other things. And it's think like something that you'd see on the Sega or the Neo Geo Pocket, a little bit like a Mr. Driller meets like a Tetrisy sort of thing.
Yeah, it's more Mr. Driller than anything else.
Yeah. Then there was Ornament Tower, which is it's like foxes in the Zelda, but the cutscenes are like N64 3D, and then the gameplay, but the gameplay is like Game Boy Advance.
It's like a combo of a bunch of different eras.
Yeah. So pretty cool.
And it looks like they got turned into foxes? ?
Yeah, something like that. We'll see. Desktop Explorer, which is, think of you could at a computer desk using Windows 95, and you're solving puzzles within basically, what if Clippy was talking to you from Microsoft Office and asking you to solve puzzles, and the more puzzles you solve based on different windows that are open or things that are happening on the computer or videos you watch or images that you line up and do things with, the next level you go to, but also the creepier things get.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those, it's gonna fuck with the it's going to play around with the medium of you're playing a computer game that's on a computer and subsequently it's screwing with the meta-ness of it.
I think like Doki Doki kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's very Doki Doki.
And then I also wrote down Daybreak Slam, which is a indie fighting game, Michael, that when you beat your opponent, you get to pick one of their moves, special moves, to steal from them that you can then use for the rest of the tournament.
Oh, yeah. See, that's that roguelite one, right? Polyfighter? No. Because like, didn't they do something like kind of similar too?
Both these fighting games are sort of like that. They both have features like that.
Okay, so, I dig that vibe. Then I really kind of do.
And like, each of these characters are kind of like from smaller games.
Oh, okay.
And those smaller games are a part of the game itself.
The reason I wanted to mention it is like you got this, you got Polyfighter, you've got a few of these indie fighting games that are coming, which you don't usually see. So
yeah, like developing an indie fighter, like unless you come from like the fighting game community or that mindset, they're remarkably hard to balance, not just with fun gameplay, but with engaging mechanics. I mean, this is something you're not going to see at like a fighting game tournament, but the fact that it has
it'll be a side bet
in mind,
it'll be a side bet kind of game.
See, I would be surprised if it gets that far, but if it does, then that's a really huge leap forward.
What it can be though is a good way for some of the like AA and AAA fighting companies to then scout new talent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there is obviously more stuff, but that's just what I wanted to highlight. And then for the accessibility showcase, I put down Torment Hexus, which is a turn-based roguelike match 3 game.
That looks weird, but kind of fun, surprisingly.
And yeah, it's not going to be necessarily a game for me, but I was intrigued with something where it uses like screen readers and has all the accessibility features you not necessarily would expect that kind of game to have. And because it's turn-based, you don't have to worry about, I guess, like the time running out. So if you take a long time, depending on your like assistive device, you can play it. I put down it might have auto-corrected on me. Was it colorblind or color something?
Colorbound.
Colorbound. Yeah, it auto-corrected on me. Which is the color puzzle platformer, which you like remove colors, add colors to then change the platforming aspect of how you jump around and do stuff. And it was cool that in that design, they made it so that all the different types of color blindness can be used because it changes the color schemes.
Yeah, that I thought was really creative, and just the fact that, again, like for players that have a different visual impairment, there are options available for them, and the fact that you can rebind all the different keys, that's really forward thinking.
Yep, there were a couple other small ones that I'm sort of skipping by because we have a bit to go into the main show part here. But I did want to mention the last thing that I put in that compilation video for you guys to watch was that Tennis Academy, which is a tennis RPG made by a solo dev.
Ooh.
So that looks interesting.
Yeah, there was a game a couple years ago, Alex, that you turned me on to, and it was for the Switch. I think it was called Golf Story.
Yeah, and that really spawned a ton of like that sort of like games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and I'll just mention the two things from Day of the Devs, which was technically after the Summer Game Fest, and I was too tired to watch it. I watched it this morning instead. There was a bunch of cool stuff in there, but the two highlights were they gave an update on Threads of Fate, which is the Chrono Trigger-like time travel 2D pixel art RPG made by a team in Ontario, Rio Studio. They did like a sort of a meet and greet with the developers, explaining their background, showing off a little more, and they don't have much else yet to show, except they showed the different timelines that they're going to be in, which looks awesome. And the guys at Playtonic, the old devs from Rare, showed up with a surprise. They have Super Ukulele Kart. It's their take and a little tongue-in-cheek on Super Mario Kart, specifically the Super Nintendo style.
It actually more reminds me of the Game Boy advanced version.
Fair enough. Yeah, it
Mixed
has that
with
kind
the
of
Super Nintendo.
yeah, that kind of
version.
like the primitive 3D that like a GBA could do.
Yeah.
And then what they added was like a rage meter, so that if you keep getting hit by people's projectiles and stuff, it'll fill the rage meter, and it looks like you end up getting like some sort of super mode to like get angry and get back at them. So that's cool. That's sort of all the indie and smaller things. And I'll say Jeff's show, moving into the main Summer Game Fest, this there's always going to be some people that complain, but this was the best Summer Games Fest he's ever done overall.
Yes, however, oh my god, the stream was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, we'll say this before we get into it. If you were watching it live on YouTube, which was what he preferred because it was the only way to watch it in 4K at 60 FPS, it kept desyncing about 20 times during the show. The voices would desync from the actual video, and you'd have to refresh it, or you'd have to go somewhere else and come back, and it would correct itself, or there'd be frame rate drops to like stuttering.
Well, on Twitch, anytime it desynced the audio on the YouTube side, it was just frame drops.
Yeah, like it was like somebody set. I feel like they set the bit rate too high. I guarantee you,
it's either that or it's the fact that the Dolby Theater, which is a new venue, and that's the place that hosts the Oscars, and YouTube has been talking about moving it out of the Dolby when they take over running the Oscars, and now I understand why.
What it could be the fiber connection was not great, but to me, the way it was behaving was like they set their bit rate internally too high, and the the solid state drive or whatever they were using, it was thrashing. It wasn't able to process the data fast enough to, and then it was sort of almost crashing their ingest server. So you basically had to watch it, if you're watching it live on Twitch, at 720p 60 at lower quality, where it wouldn't desync, but as you said, sometimes you had like a slideshow running. So I ended up, before going to bed, at great frustration, tracking down all of the press copies of the videos of the important things, or of what I deem the most important, and then making a compilation press video to send to you, Mike, and so that we had like good quality videos. But all of the press videos are actually only at 30 FPS. Not a single video that was produced for this was actually at 60. They were all 30 internal. I'm wondering if I don't know why. I'm going to assume it's like they're waiting for before their games get closer to release before they show off 60 videos. So it is what it is. But the videos that I sent you, Mike, look way better than what was actually shown.
Okay.
And I will say we're going to be skipping, like, this was a 2-hour show that was pretty packed. There were only a few ads. Basically
mostly Nintendo ads, actually.
Yeah, Nintendo, a couple mobile type games, but very few of those. A couple of not even the gotcha. It was like the Wuthering Wave stuff.
Withering Wave stuff, but they're doing a combo, a special like event thing with
Cyberpunk.
What was it? Cyberpunk, yeah.
So what I did, if you notice, Mike, I was able to cut it down to just shy of 40 minutes or so, maybe 40, 50, depending on what you saw. And it was a pretty packed 2-hour show. So for anybody listening, if there's something, that if you really like Mortal Shell 2, we're not talking about that. We're talking about...
Honestly, the only thing you didn't highlight was Daybreakers, and they showed off like a story trailer. And I'm like, oh, now I'm really interested.
Yeah. And as well, I try to, in these shows, Mike, when we're doing it, is cover mostly things that are brand new, as in like we've not seen the announcement before, or if it's an update on the game, it would be a game that we maybe saw the title or a teaser of, and we're finally getting new information, or if there's like a major release. The only other video I didn't include because it was kind of pointless unless you've played it, was there was a story full expansion DLC for Mafia: The Old Country, and that's coming in August. And it's bridging the gap between Mafia: The Old Country and Mafia 1.
Okay, well that's cool. It's just seems like a really odd time to release because that game's like a year old to get DLC this long out. I mean, I'm glad that they're still
It,
supporting it, but still.
if I had to guess, it's 2K going, we need something for the single players out there
Smaller. Yeah.
between now and when GTA 6 comes, because as far as I know, 2K doesn't have anything else major publishing from now until November.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually.
Like they'll have a few small titles or maybe their sports titles, but I don't think they have a single player game until then. So
And
No.
also, that's the only actual team that's still in the States that 2K has.
yeah, right. So there's that. So now we'll start out with the show. The show, and I'm sort of going in. I tried to put the video in order of when things came for you, Mike, but I'll just sort of mention it. It
Mhm.
opened with Code Veronica.
Now, this is something that I've been rumored for a while, and it's interesting from a Resident Evil. I wouldn't call myself a lore expert. I would call myself I dabble, and
Aficionado.
yeah, aficionado. Like I've played each and every single Resident Evil game. I've beaten about 90% of them. I just finished a hard ass playthrough on Resident Evil 7. Fuck that game, by the way. Code Veronica was one of those ones that have been asked to been remade for years. They're taking a slightly different approach to the storyline. They're calling it reimagined. I'm very curious what they're going to do with that. In the trailer, you do see Rockford Island. You see what looks to be the Antarctic facility. You do see the Ashfords, or at least one of the twins. What looks like Hunk, presumably.
Now,
It
this was the Dreamcast game, right?
Yes, this was the Dreamcast
Now,
exclusive.
was this not the one that for like years and years and years people said was the best game in the franchise for the story?
I'd say number 4 holds that distinction, but of the old style games that had the tank controls, this was definitely one of
Like,
the best.
I remember people saying that when this came out, like back in the day, I remember reading magazines, everybody saying this was much better than 3.
Yeah, that I can definitely say. And then when they changed how the game was, because there was the one that came out on the Dreamcast, and then there was a version that came out on the PS2 and the GameCube called Code Veronica X that added in additional content and was able to bridge the gap between the original series and Claire's adventures. Like there's a section where Wesker shows up and Chris shows up. They add a lot more stuff there. I think there might even be like a new boss fight. I haven't played X in like 20 years. So.
Now, because I don't really know, obviously these games were always too scary for me, but I was always interested in the storylines. This takes place, was it shortly after 2 or something?
It takes place, yeah, but after 2 and 3, but before 4. Claire is chasing down leads. She tracks her brother to Umbrella Europe. She loses track of him. She gets kidnapped. She meets a kid named Steve. Chris finally gets a thing to, hey, your sister's in Antarctica, and you rescue her. And then this kind of leads to the foundation of the BSAA, which is the I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but yeah, if I recall, I'm sure there's some Resident Evil nerd yelling at me saying, "No, that's wrong." Like this is my memory from 20 years back, but yeah, this is before Leon became the de facto star of the series, and this would only be like outside of the Dark Side Chronicles games. It's been a really long time since we've seen Claire, so this is exciting to see her back. I wonder what they're going to do with the Steve Burnside gameplay, what the extra modes are going to be. Because the DLC for some of these games gets right friggin' wacky at times. Like I said, I was just playing Resident Evil 7, where there's a mode where you have to feed the family. And then Resident Evil 9 Requiem, there's Leon Must Die, which is... I don't like roguelites as a general rule, but this one's actually kind of fun, so we'll see what happens. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get a tease for the Resident Evil 9 DLC, which is rumored to happen later on this year.
Maybe that'll be at Gamescom. Yeah, because at the end of the show, Jeff obviously did where he pitched to more cool stuff coming at Gamescom when he does Opening Night Live. So that would make sense. Announce it there for like an October or Halloween release or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Um,
my thoughts on that.
Sure. They announced a new Cuphead game. Now, I sent you the trailer that just showed the second game. They announced Cuphead 2, but didn't have anything to show, and it was announced by Cuphead himself as a physical puppet, like a
Oh, that's
Muppet,
funny.
doing a newscast. And then they announced Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is like mixture of
Kirby?
like yeah, like
Pseudo
Kirby,
8-bit.
Yeah.
pseudo 8-bit Master System meets TurboGrafx sort of thing. Cool. We'll see when that comes. I almost felt like I could probably hear you screaming in joy when Alien Isolation 2 got its trailer.
Yeah, I mean, this has been like that game came out in 2014. So it's been a long ass friggin' time.
Yeah, they only announced that they're making it like last year.
Yeah, so my guess is middle to late next year at the earliest.
Yeah.
It looks cool though. I mean, honestly, the fact that you're outside, you're in a different kind of biome, you're not just trapped on like a space station.
It looked like a Japanese crew.
Yeah, so this will probably be a Utani crew, which means if I had to place this in the timeline, I can. It'll be interesting to see how they put this in canon, in universe, whether they reference Alien Earth. Does this lead into all the other stuff that happens in the Alien kind of universe? I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because, hell, I still haven't beaten Alien Isolation because it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
This is not the one where the bad AI was down to a simple script being wrong, right?
No,
Yeah,
this AI is deadly.
Oh wait, no, that was
Colonial
Colonial.
Marines.
Yeah. So
Colonial
this,
Marines.
Isolation and Infestation were the good ones, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Infestation was awesome. There was another one. Was Infestation? Was that the RTS?
That was the DS title, I think.
Oh yeah. There was one that came out
Yeah, there's a
for the
recent
PlayStation. Yeah,
there's a recent
one
Darkness
that came
or
out.
something.
Oh, the one that was like something team or whatever, fire team, red Pokemon, whatever.
Yeah, there was
Firebase or something like that.
Yeah, there was Fire Team or Firebase or whatever the fuck it is. That's the squad-based shooter. That's not bad, surprisingly. There was an RTS that came out really late in the PlayStation 4's life, and it's really good, but it is fucking hard. That game,
But this is like the first AAA game since the flop of Colonial.
Yeah. I would.
They also confirmed that it is coming to Switch too.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean,
yeah.
I'm honestly been trying to hunt down the limited runs game version of Alien Isolation, but like, I don't want to pay $100. I have this on PlayStation for 10.
The Jet Atlas was shown. We saw it like a year or two ago as a teaser.
About this.
I think it was just called Project Robot then, and this is from the creator of Ico Shadow of the
Colossus.
So this is the team that he put together after he and everybody had the mass exodus when they shut down Japan studio.
Mm-hmm.
So these are like whoever didn't stay for Team Asobi to stay with that French dude. I forget his name. Sorry, that's the head of that doing Astro. It's like the best people that were working at Sony Japan studio are off making this, and it's a giant freaking mecha game where everything has like the weight that you would think of a mecha that's like 150 200 feet tall.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I was like kind of looking at it, I'm thinking this is like Pacific Rim but mythic in a weird kind of way,
and Rock'em Sock'em Robots, because you're like busting up the other ones and like the head pops off and stuff.
Yeah, and like I hope that's a really cool like gameplay thing where like if you kill a certain, I'm just gonna call them Titans in this instance, where you kill a Titan, you can take their body and maybe scavenge abilities or something. It looks really friggin' interesting. I hope it's cool, but I want gameplay.
Take 12 years to make like The Last Guardian.
Yeah, exactly. Like otherwise, my interest will very much be waning by then.
There were like 5 or 6 of these like Chinese mythical.
Also, just to note, Jet Atlas, that is going to be Epic Games exclusive, I guess,
for PC, but also on
PC,
on PlayStation and Xbox.
but on console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of, every one of these, there's a bunch of the Chinese mythical action games that honestly all look and feel the same. But I put one in, which was Blood Message, because that's the one that looks the most cinematic.
Yeah.
That looks cool. I'll be honest, it's probably going to suck because a lot of these games, like, you have to really, really like this style of game to like it. But also, like, this one looks like they put so much time into the cinematics. I don't know what the gameplay is going to be like.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
concern too. Because like when the trailer started, I thought it was like going to be like another Nobunaga's Ambition or like Dynasty Warriors, but we're trying a different art direction this year. And then it looks like it gets a lot more serious. I'm thinking, okay, I don't know where this is going. Because I like games like Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotai, and all that shit. I think that shit's cool.
I'm getting Rise Son of Rome vibes.
Yeah, that, and maybe there was, what was that other game
like
that came out last year for the PlayStation? It was like another samurai game, but it was really early on in the year. It had like red lettering, something Rise of the Samurai or something like that.
Oh, Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibes I'm getting off it.
But even more cinematic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stranger Than Heaven, Tupac.
Okay, what?
See, now you didn't
What?
see it. Okay, so they show this
Snoop
trailer,
Dogg
Michael,
is
and
associated with it.
and it ends with Tupac, and everybody in the audience is like, "What?" And everybody, I think, in every reaction everybody had was, "Is this family okay with this shit?" And then they brought Snoop Dogg on the stage, and he's like, "Snoop doop 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 doop," talking, and he's like, "I got permission," and it's like, okay. And then they use that time to also promote that, like, he's still trying to start his own Snoop Dogg like video games. And the if anything, maybe the idea that Sega wouldn't allow him to promote a new startup studio of his own during their time on stage, unless maybe RGG Studio is going to work with him to make a new Def Jam.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Suge Knight saying, "Look, man, you either make this happen or someone else is going to disappear."
What is he gonna like? How many times did that dude shake people by their ankles over the balcony? At least 3 or 4 times, for real. Like, at least 3 or 4 times he did that shit. So,
See what fucking should have happened? Tupac, or not Tupac. Sorry, Snoop Dogg should have came out with like a wheelable hologram of fucking Biggie Smalls. Like, by the way, DLC next summer.
no, maybe
And they also let Jeff announce the date for Stranger Than Heaven. It's coming out middle of January.
Yeah, so which is pretty much where the last 2 games were released anyway, right? Like,
Yeah, RGG has been loving January, February.
because they for the most part they
There's
get
no
that month
competition.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time, well, it was Infinite Wealth came out really close to Final Fantasy, which was like, but then it sold well anyway.
But it's still sold.
Yeah,
So
that was the thing.
like,
It still
whatever.
sold. And it was like, okay. So when I saw this with Tupac, all I could think of in my head was that skit from Chappelle's Show like 25 years ago, where they're like, I wrote the song a long time ago, and he's like talking about CJ from San Andreas, yet he's been dead for 10 years before that. And I was thinking, somebody is going to put the meme together of Chappelle dancing to that, and then realizing, like, is this? And then I saw comments online already saying, I didn't think this was how it was going to reveal that he didn't die.
Blair was walking through the room when she saw Tupac come on screen, and she's like, "What in the actual fuck?"
Yeah. And Snoop comes out and he's just like all grins, like, yeah. It's like, okay, obviously.
I mean, like, look, it's him and his son are in the game as well.
Yeah.
So it's clear, like, they're doing stuff.
The family's fine with it,
Sega.
and I like, Snoop's basically was like, if he was alive, this is the game he'd want to be in. It's like, I get it. Yeah, probably true.
Yeah, probably.
Then there was Hex, but spelled Haex. That's the one where it's
I
like,
literally was like, how the fuck do I say that?
I was like, You know what? My shorthand for that became awesome. The Rubik's Cube game.
The Rubik's Cube with the terrifying alien voice.
Yeah, exactly. Alien monolith Rubik's Cube now available at a local store.
Looks cool. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
We're skipping by the stuff we didn't care about. Okay, you care about Black Flag, but it was just another trailer for it in there.
Which, again, I'm going to be very excited. So, Ubisoft, if you don't give this code to me, and Alex, I'm putting you on notice. If this code does not come to my inbox, I can get to you now.
What are you
I want Black Flag.
What are you gonna do if I get the code and I take it and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't even tell you. I do a review.
I won't be the
and I'm like, this is kind of boring. It sucks. And then you're like, I put it on the show and you're like, wait, you got a code and you didn't like it and you didn't give it to me?
I'd be like, you're not going to be the only fucker in a wheelchair. But yeah, like, honestly, every gameplay preview I've seen for this looks pretty good. I'm interested to see what the new content's going to be, especially now they're cutting around the Abstergo shit.
Even back when Black Flag came out, because it was between the 360 and
PS4.
360, PS3, and PS4 one era, it looked fucking amazing for the time.
Like, I spent so much time in that game.
And don't get me wrong, this is one of my favorite eras of history. I love the Age of Piracy. In the Caribbean. Like, that is one of my favorite periods of history of all time.
Well, that it sounds dumb, but that was one of the aspects that made Kingdom Hearts 3 really cool. Was in Kingdom Hearts 3, the Pirates of the Caribbean motif, the game shifted from the standard like Kingdom Hearts into being a seafaring thing where you're exploring the ocean, and then that was cool. That was just one little aspect of that game. So this is cool. The only part of concern is it's the Singapore team that made Skull and Bones that did this.
They'll have a good idea on how the seafaring stuff works.
They have the base.
Yeah. So this is the make or break for that team entirely. If this doesn't do well,
if they don't, they can actually close the studio,
and they can tell the Singaporean government that you guys aren't working out.
Yeah.
So this is the make or break for that team for sure. It looks good though. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin was,
which we thought was canceled.
Which we thought was either canceled or in limbo because Embracer had it as the last AAA game that they were making after their studios and their company basically fell apart. And it was, I think, Black Forest Games.
They tried to get Saudi money and then...
Yeah, and it didn't work. And Black Forest Games was the studio developing it initially. And that was the studio that's done like the Destroy All Humans remakes. And they were known for double A studio that remakes AAA or AA plus games. And in like August of last year, they had 40% of their staff cut, but they didn't cancel the game. And people thought, oh, the game's canceled or it's being shopped around. And Paramount opened up a new publisher under their own umbrella that now encompasses every small indie studio. They only had a couple under like that Paramount owned, but then also Skydance owned 2 or 3 studios, including the studio that's making the Captain America
Rise of Hydra,
Black
1943.
Panther.
Black Panther game,
yeah. Which they had nothing to share on that, but that's one of their AAA studios. And then they showed here they hired Platinum to finish it. It is not being started from scratch, but they took whatever they had done, which obviously is very little, or they would have shown something. It sounds like for like 3 or 4 years that company was struggling to make, even remotely. They couldn't even make something they could show. In literally like 4.5 years, they had nothing to show.
And they know Platinum is going to pump this shit out pretty quickly.
And they announced that the team making it is the same team that just put together Ninja Gaiden 4 for Xbox.
So it should be good.
It should be good and should be done on time and under budget, because that's how that's the one team that Platinum still has left. It's that director. He was one of the junior directors, because everybody else bled dry from there. But this also is like a confirmation that Platinum still exists, because there was worry that after Ninja Gaiden 4 they wouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So this will probably be cool, but expect that this is probably a 2028 game now.
Oh yeah, easy.
We don't give a shit about Fortnite. Gundam showed a game that didn't look like Gundam.
Well, yeah, like the art style completely threw me off, but when I saw
looks like
the head crest, I was like, "What the fuck?"
It looks like it's playing into like Armored Core.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was. I was like, "Is this Armored Core?" But why is there Gundam styling in this?
Fun fact: Mick Gordon's doing the music, the Doom guy.
Oh,
that's gonna be awesome, then.
Yeah, and I thought I noticed it at first, and then Mick posted it on his Twitter.
Nice.
That's very cool. I'm in.
Yep.
We're skipping. I think did I put Crossfire in there for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I thought this was a Call of Duty thing, but this looks weird. All right, I'll check it out.
It's former devs of some of like the bigger shootery type stuff in the past. I forget exactly which teams they worked on before, but looks cool.
Maybe some ex-Ubisoft guys.
Yeah, I could see maybe a mix of Battlefield and Tom Clancy. Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, I could see that.
They did show off more of Control Resident, but we're not talking about that because that's already coming out and it looks cool. Guild Wars 3 was announced. I didn't put the trailer in, but for those that like MMOs where it's buy once and don't have to pay again.
Yep, I had friends of mine who played Guild Wars so much through college, and I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I played a little bit of Guild Wars 1. My brother and I played a fair bit. We played Guild Wars 2. I did the game in the first expansion I played, and then I dropped off of MMOs. But I remember it being, out of all the MMOs, it was, in my mind, the most friendly to people that weren't MMO guys. At least back in the day when everybody was charging $10 or $20 a month. This was a buy it once, didn't have to pay again unless you wanted like cosmetics. We're gonna skip the stuff there. Virtua Fighter Crossroads.
That looks fucking sick.
So
I
included two trailers there. The first trailer, Mike, that you would have seen was the one that they showed at SGF. The second trailer, that was like a longer one. They did, after the show ended, a full Virtua Fighter Direct where they showed off what it is. And I can say this, there's going to be a versus mode, obviously, for tournaments and stuff, but the main game is an action adventure, like where you're basically like Shenmue.
Meets like Shaolin Monk sort of thing.
It's more from the Yakuza, because it's the Yakuza team, so it's a take on that with Virtua Fighter.
So you'll be fighting in the environments, like as the story progresses, it'll just break into a fight.
See, that's cool, because Virtua Fighter is one of those early fighting game IPs that unfortunately just never got the love once Tekken and Mortal Kombat started to raise the bar of Virtua Fighter very much.
Literally the only person that was keeping Virtua Fighter alive was that one dude from the Yakuza team that's actually directing the game.
Yeah, like honestly, I would have expected a new Battle Arena Toshinden before I would get to see a fucking Virtua Fighter action adventure game. Not on my 2026 bingo card, but it looks cool. I'm fucking in.
Exactly. 1666 Amsterdam. Now,
weird.
This is from the guy that created Assassin's Creed. He did Assassin's Creed 1, 2 through. Maybe he did the entire Ezio and Altair stuff.
Okay, yes. So you went to the end of 3. Yeah.
He left at Revelations, formed a new studio. Ubisoft bought his studio, and then he left Ubisoft again.
Quit chasing me.
Yes. So
basically,
he's been making this since 20. It's been like 2010. No, 20.
The last thing he did was that you start as an ape and evolve into
like a very experimental thing. Yeah, but this particular project has been like 15 years. He's been working on it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's basically
Salem Witch Trials.
Salem Witch Trials, but it also has time travel-y stuff.
Yeah. It looks cool. It looks weird. Like I saw it and immediately, okay, Assassin's Creed vibe. Like, you get a cat friend? Okay.
If you have a good enough PC on Steam and Epic Game Store, there is a prologue you can play that's apparently 30 minutes long for free.
That's pretty cool. So play it.
Saw Genesis. Yes, that game you probably won't be able to. It looks pretty intense.
Heck no.
Saw Genesis.
Weird, I guess.
Jigsaw, when the show started, if you look at my notes, initially, Jeff did the whole sweep of the audience, and Jigsaw was sitting in the front row, and I was like, "Oh God, they're gonna do something with Jigsaw." And yes, they did.
Was it Billy or was it
Ball.
Billy or was it Jigsaw? Because I didn't notice it.
It was Jigsaw.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was like cool. 3 versus 1. You like those games, right, Michael?
Yeah. Oh yeah, those games can be pretty interesting.
And I think is it Bloober team making it or somebody?
Bloober along with 2 other teams.
Cool. They did show the Star Wars Pod Racer, but I figured, or Galactic Racer, but we already knew that was coming. But there was an unannounced game, which was Star Wars Zero Company.
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of like Star Wars XCOM.
This was previously announced, but this is Star Wars XCOM.
Yeah, it's basically
but
they announced it last Star Wars Celebration, but this is the first time we've seen gameplay.
Yeah. And they're like, "Ooh, big deal! Anakin's in it." And I'm like, "So."
Yeah, looking at this, it's kind of got my attention. I like the fact that you can, from a Star Wars lore perspective, you get to play with a lot of really cool shit in there. I was like, interesting. Darth Maul's race, very interesting. Honestly, I don't like XCOM type games too much, but when you put the right license on a certain style of game, I'm willing to give it a chance.
Mario Kingdom Battle.
Yeah, that surprised the hell out of me.
So,
but
now
also, it depends on how hard it gets.
Yes.
Is it going to be XCOM bullshit of 99% you constantly miss?
Yeah. Okay, like if I use my lightsaber and slash them, will I miss if I'm touching their neck with my lightsaber?
Yeah. Like for me, I like the idea of permanent death, but I love the customization options that they've got.
Now,
in this
gives me hope that we'll get another like Empire at War. Like,
don't cool. Fucking tease me.
The RTS stuff, man. That stuff was fun. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't put the trailer in for you, but there was a new trailer for Blood of the Dawnwalker. That is the game from the former devs that left CDPR during the production of Cyberpunk when they were displeased with how the management ran things. Basically, all the people that didn't like how they were rushing the game out and it came out in a bad state left and made the studio. This is the vampire medieval game that they showed off that's coming out this year. The big thing here that they showed is it takes place in 2 timelines, modern day and the past, which they didn't reveal before.
That's pretty cool. I dig
it. Honestly, this is the first like legit story trailer that they've dropped, and I'm like, okay, now I'm really interested.
Yeah. 007 saying that there's going to be a new mission, obviously with Lenny Kravitz, because without doing spoilers, he's in the game, but he's not as prominent as you thought he would be.
Yeah, so
they set him up to be in this stuff. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. There was a bunch of like compilation stuff that again we don't really care about. Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance, which got its full DLC expansion, cool for those that want it. There was a new Hot Wheels game that was shown, again, cool. Yeah. Sonic Racing is getting
weird collaboration.
Godzilla and Ava.
Yeah, expecting Ava.
I joke Ava is the whore of collaborations. They will collaborate with literally anyone.
Watching those characters in the carts
just
is
like
hilarious. Get in the cart.
Ray in a freaking...
Get the car, Shinji.
Yeah.
Fuyitsuki.
And there's an indie Sonic game coming, which looks like
it's the Pico Park. They collaborated with the Pico Park devs. It's a co-op rage.
It's fun. It's
ragey
cute.
kind of. God damn it. Jump over here, not jump over there.
Streaming friend slop stuff, but in the better way, like not crappy slop. Attack on Titan 3 was announced, which is a game from is it Koei that's doing it, I think?
Yeah, I think they have the license.
And it's going to tell the whole story of the entire anime.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Even though it's number 3, it's going to be telling the whole story.
It's kind of like Dragon Ball Kakarot. It's kind of in that same vein. Like we're going to tell you the entire story, but it's going to take forever.
Yeah. Clutch was announced. Clutch didn't show that in the trailer, but Clutch is all the devs from Forza that got fired when they basically downsized the main Forza team, like the one that did like the high end stuff. They basically shut down like the studio and merged it with the Horizon team. All the people that left are now making their own like high end simulation racer, and it's got a big story mode and everything, whereas it got a whole bunch of like famous actors in it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. We can skip the other stuff. Same thing. Hitman got a new assignment for the Hitman world of whatever. Wiz Khalifa is in it.
Oh my! I kind of want to download that just to kill him. Because fuck,
he's playing an MMA fighter that you have to kill. Wiz Khalifa is an MMA fighter, and they use his music in it.
That's weird.
And you're just sent to murder him during an MMA fight.
That's really... See, I love the Hitman world of assassination because it's so bloody goofy.
How long till there's a 007 mission where like you're going to do something, and then like in the background you see Agent 47.
See, that would be an awesome Easter egg.
Like,
or
he's,
like
like
one
like,
mission
he's in the background. You go in to kill. You're going in to like capture somebody, and like the asset you go to capture is dead, and you just see the bald guy leaving.
That would be a great fucking cliffhanger for a mission, just to have them go like, I run into some trouble. That bald man again. And then it just cuts the credits. That'd be fucking awesome.
Wolf Among Us 2 got some gameplay footage after like 8 years of being announced. Yeah.
Yes. Well, they also announced, hey, we remastered the first game as an apology
and that's
for
coming
taking so long.
And that's coming in the fall. Yeah. Stellar Blade, Blood Rain. I knew what it was when the butt cheeks were flipping and flopping around.
I was hoping this was like a weird cyberpunk expansion, but then I'm thinking, no, the girl's too pretty, and I don't mean to say that to sound sexist, but I'm thinking, no, please don't be what I think you are.
I have an issue with it that is more. You'd think it's not prudish; it's more concerned that she looks younger than the protagonist from the first game, like underage.
Okay, I'm just gonna straight out say this. I hate this gooner shit.
Yeah.
Like,
look, this is what the team does. Period.
But it actually looks concerning
weird.
if you're an adult.
Oh, it's concerningly
this.
gooner for sure.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing this in public, they would go, "You're a pedophile." Like that is the level of how young they made this character look. And that's not me saying this. Look online. That is a big thing. A lot of like
also
YouTube creators are saying, creators out there are saying, can I stream this? Because it looks wrong.
And like, I will say the character model looks cool.
The face looks too young. Face looks way too young. Way too young.
Yeah. I will say I love her outfit, but I don't want her in that skin tight shit. When she moves in that trench coat, that gives me some major Ghost in the Shell vibes. And that's what I thought this game was.
It feels like Ghost. There's a lot of Ghost in the Shell like homages in this trailer.
And I was thinking, that's fucking cool. It's this Ghost in the Shell. It's Stellar Blade. Fuck, now I don't care.
As soon as the jacket came off, I was like, they're moving. It's like, oh, literally each butt cheek flips and flops around. And I'm like, am I supposed to be watching the action or am I watching porn?
Yeah, like I like a cool looking woman in games too, but
here's the thing. They're self-publishing this, by the way.
Why am I not surprised?
They're not working with Sony on this.
And they said, it's like, oh, we want to put it on all platforms. There's a reason for that, because Sony got flack for
like Stellar Blade itself.
Yeah, and
because it was weird, and then they just doubled down on the gooner shit.
And there's people online that are like, rah, 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 I want my women to be fantasy. You can have them however you want.
Play Mortal Kombat.
The problem becomes, like, if you want porn, watch porn. If you want a compelling game, have a compelling game. They lucked out that the gameplay was good in the first, and the music was great too. And the gameplay looks good, but it distracts from the gameplay. So you have to find that balance. And it's like, okay, I'm complaining. I'm complaining about something that I'm probably not going to play unless we get a review code of it. And even then, it's like, I get it, but like, if you start looking up online, there are a lot of people that didn't
I'll say
complain.
Stay the fuck off of Reddit. When it comes to
Yes,
this.
a lot of people online and creators that didn't complain or were defenders of the first game are already saying that this looks more problematic than the first game did.
I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But I'm
Yeah.
not optimistic about this discourse. Moving
Yeah.
on.
I mean,
like,
this game's like maybe 2 years out anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Expect a patch that is the reverse of the Naked Lara Croft mods, where it'll be like a mod to cover up the character.
I hope so. I just want her coat on the entire game because it looks so cool.
And that's me. I'm not a prude. I'm saying I just like keep an eye on this because it'll be interesting. And you're right.
Yeah.
I think a mod to keep the costume on, to keep that on, would be cooler. I thought it looked even better when it was like cyberpunky with the trench coats.
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
the fucking Major from Ghost in the Shell. She looks cool.
And then we're to the last two announcements. One was the Street Fighter stuff, and so it wasn't a new game. It was a year 4
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
two brand new characters. Arjun, Yasmin. Is Bosch a character that was there before? Because I think it was.
Bosch is a previous character. Yes.
Yeah.
And then Tifa.
Yeah, new main, baby. New main. Move over, Ryu.
We just have to buy our year 3 stuff because we got review codes when the Switch versions came out for the year. I think it had year 1 and year 2 together.
Yes.
Yep.
So who was year 3?
Ibiki. I'm trying to remember. Irene. I can't remember the other two.
The
but
last one was the character that was doing the voiceover.
yeah,
I forget her name.
yeah, but yeah, seriously, I'm always so happy when Capcom continues to support, because this is year 4 of Street Fighter
Yeah.
6. I may have to break out the fight stick because as much as I love Invincible Versus, I can't get a handle on it. But when it comes to Street Fighter, that's my bread and butter, baby. So,
They also
And
they
think
also
I'm back.
they also said that Tifa's going to play completely different from every single fighter in the game.
Ooh, I
We've
wonder
got
Yeah.
a whole materia system built into the
oh,
game.
get the fuck out! Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's
Yeah,
so
so that-
dead.
So yeah, you saw the trailer. Yeah, they brought the director of the game on stage and the director of Final Fantasy on stage to talk about it. How they said they were sorry that they didn't have the ability to show what it's going to look like yet. I'm assuming Evo.
Okay,
Yeah, they're gonna show Tifa at Evo if they're
If
gonna
they-
show Tifa.
if I had one more character from Final Fantasy VII to bring over into this, if I could have Tifa and Yuffie,
Oh,
just with her flipping around doing her she'd have even more materia bullshit. Her and her fucking
What about
throat-
Red, but in his Shinra costume on his 2 legs, flopping around?
If
it was
that could
Tekken,
pop out to like your extra, that'd be fucking funny.
if it was Tekken, it would totally be just him on his 2 legs.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
But
Versus-
yeah,
yeah.
and then of course the big finale was Final Fantasy VII Revelation. They showed Michael 4 trailers, and they split it up. So what I sent you were two where they were everything combined.
It's what Square Enix dropped on their YouTube channel.
Now,
Yeah,
I will say this. I was, to get serious for 30 seconds, I was coming home from a funeral yesterday, and I saw this notification pop up not too long after I left the funeral home. And like, I'm looking at my wife, my friend, the cab driver. I'm like, hey guys, I got to put my AirPods in for just a minute. Something important's happening. They have no idea what the fuck's going on. So I pop in my AirPods. I'm watching this trailer, and all they hear in the back seat of the cab is like, holy fuck. Shit. Oh my, what? It's fucking real? What? Spring, what? Yeah, holy shit. Me and Alex, and probably Ken, next spring, 2027, don't bother us. When this game comes out, TWIG is shutting down for 2 weeks. Goodbye.
I've
And that's
already. I told my brother, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And then he goes, "You've got to tell mom so that she doesn't worry when you don't talk for 2 or 3 days, or that you're not dying." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Don't you remember the last time one of these games came out? Mom called me because she thought you were sick because you wouldn't respond to your phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and he goes, you're just gonna have to like get jugs of water and like buy a bunch of like sandwiches and keep them in the fridge so that you can refuel and not die, because I will be playing the shit out of this.
When
So
like,
FF7 Revelation was revealed as the title. I don't think anybody guessed that. I had thought
I did.
Reverie, or I had thought Reverie, or like Revolution or something like that, but I didn't think of Revelation as the main one. A very few
Revelation
people.
was my top pick. My other one was Resurrection, or I had another R word.
Resurrection would have made the point of
Aerith and all that stuff.
Aerith
Yeah.
and all that.
And
very
it would also
crazy.
make people upset because that she's not going to get revived. Like I can tell you right now,
Oh,
the
no.
the whole point of this is not to revive her. It's like it's
The
I mean,
sacred time.
the whole plot is to kick the planet's ass, because the planet's like, yeah, we're going to try and kill Sephiroth. And they're like, no!
Yeah,
and
no, bad.
This is unlike, basically, big brain thought here is Sephiroth in the first game, or the original version, he tries to basically control the planet. It doesn't work. He now has found a way to control the planet. So
Maybe.
it's pretty clear here that he now controls the weapons, which he did not do last time.
Yeah, like
there's a scene in the, and we'll dig into it another time because this is just an overview. We'll talk about this, I think, extensive once a week has gone by, and we can do like our full Summer Game Fest coverage of everything, where we just do our recaps of what we loved and we didn't love. But I will say, I have a feeling that this is what's going to change is some of the pivotal moments where things were in the original game going their way are really going to change. So I don't think the Sister Ray is going to kill the weapons in the way that we thought they did originally, and it's going to throw things for a major loop, and that's where we're going to realize that Sephiroth has some control of the weapons, or if not all the weapons. I think he's going to control the ones that we fought in the main game originally, like Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, and all those ones.
Emerald,
I think those are the ones he's going to control. But they also show in the trailer the weapons that we saw when they fell into the live stream at the I think it was near the end of the last game, where there was the ones that look like little whales.
Yeah,
those things that Tifa was in. I think those are still the antibodies that aren't under his control. And I think we're going to see some cool shit. But anyway, coolest takeaway from this, other than seeing how the gameplay works with Vincent and Sid, is showing how you traverse the planet using the high wind, and how you can just go anywhere and just fucking Halo dive.
Yeah, that looked fucking cool.
And you can land anywhere you want, and that's how you end up playing. A lot of cool shit. I will say this: I did watch some of the YouTube stuff afterwards. Like the director ended up being on Max Dude's stream live. He showed up at his house, and out of the questions they asked, a few things that were revealed. Sephiroth's voice actor is different. Because the actor that did the voice in the first two games was unavailable due to his scheduling to record. So it's a different voice actor.
Bro, what the fuck you're doing? It's Final Fantasy.
Well, he's in Hollywood movies, that's why.
Don't care.
And they put Travis Willingham, I think, is doing the voice now. So it's a little deeper.
Oh, okay.
Also, it's revealed that there is no chocobo breeding. Instead, you have a single chocobo who you then raise up to the point where he gets new powers to be able to do the stuff of the other chocobos. So you will. Okay. So eventually, he'll get the golden chocobo powers, and that's how you'll go and get Knights of the Round or do whatever. But you basically you don't have to keep breeding them, which was the most annoying thing ever. Or get the huge materia, and you could trade it for one or something. You'll get one, I guess, at the beginning of the game. And you raise him, he or she, whatever it is, you raise it up so that it evolves as you play the game to get more powers. So they revealed that. And then job system with costumes. that change up to 4 jobs per character, like like Black Mage. They only showed 2 of them so far, but that is going to be giving you unique stuff, but it also acts as something that everybody asked for in the second game, which is material loadouts. So you don't have to keep equipping and changing things based on your weapon. You'll be able to have like a set that you can just go, boop, I want this set. I want my attacker set. I want my this set, that sort of thing. But yeah. So that's pretty much that. We'll go deeper once we know more. Basically
an evolution of what Rebirth did.
But basically the last 15 minutes was all Final Fantasy. I was very happy. Yeah. Some people are like, you should have ended it with Veronica. I'm sorry. More people
Final Fantasy.
People want Final Fantasy. The people that are like angry that it wasn't a bigger game, there isn't a bigger game to end it on right now. There just isn't.
I don't know. I think you could have ended the show. If you opened with Final Fantasy, that would have been awesome. And you could have swapped Veronica or 7 in the beginning or end slot. A lot of people are excited because of Resident Evil 9, but
you know who wasn't there? There wasn't anybody there from Capcom. Like
which is weird.
So they had people there from Sega, and they had people there. Sorry. There was Capcom. There was the Street Fighter team.
The Street Fighter guys. Yeah.
So like when they announced that the Square Enix people were going to be there, we knew they had to be there for something. So it makes sense to close it out. I'll note one final thing. I'll note with this: no Kojima.
No.
And no stupid kid or anybody rushing the stage to fuck up the show. So
that's because it's Adobe.
Yeah.
They changed venues specifically for that.
They have better security.
What was it the one guy said is like, with my great mentor, the Bill Clinton or something? Like
something stupid like that.
What the fuck? What a dumb fucking thing.
Also, the Adobe Theater was probably more expensive, which is why they were kind of very careful at how much they were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's sort of just our overview highlights of what we saw. We will do a follow-up sometime in the next week once the Xbox showcase and the few other ones are done, and the rumored Nintendo showcase. I think the rumor right now is Tuesday, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. Once all that's over, we'll do our overview of like what we loved, what we didn't like, what we wanted to see, and maybe highlights of like, hey, what do we want to review? It sounds like a lot over the next year. Also, one final thought: every game is coming out in September. I swear to God.
And October.
It's
we're not sleeping.
It's worse than ever. I swear to God, worse than ever.
Broke-tember is real, and it is gonna hurt.
There's like 5 games coming out on the 24th.
Oh my God, stop. I have school to pay for. I can't afford all this. Fuck off.
But yeah, do you want to take us out of here, buddy, or should I?
I will. So for This Week in Geek, we've been Alex and Ken. We're really looking forward to talking more about this. And I'll say this as my closing thought. I haven't been this excited for a Summer Games Fest in literally years. That's a very good sign to me. So anyway, guys, we will catch you guys again next time here on the show. There will be no regular show this week as we will be continuing our ongoing coverage of Summer Games Fest, but we should have a turd or treasure. Me, Ken, and the boys are working on some additional stuff. You'll see that in the next couple of weeks. Twig's summer vacation begins on July 1st and will end on September 2nd. Just making sure you all know that because we're going to disappear and play video games for the summer. So anyway, on that note, we'll catch you guys again next time, right here on thisweekingeek.net.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Thanks for listening to this episode of This Week in Geek. Hungry for more? Check out our website at thisweekingeek.net. You can subscribe to the podcast, browse our Twitter and Instagram, and leave your thoughts on today's topics. If you'd like to give us some feedback, send us an email at feedback@thisweekingeek.net. Tune in next time, and remember,
lower your shield shields and surrender your listenership.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.